you are what you are and you're not what you're not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can fake that or force that.
And it was all
or
like,
if all of a sudden you were that guy after how many years of not being that guy.
If I just started screaming like, pig! Garrett Gross! Yeah, you fucking! You'd be like, what is Feitelberg doing?
That's what I mean. It's just not, yeah. It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. As we record this, Yankees lose game 1. By the time you're listening to this, it could either be a sweep or we're playing game 3. And so right now we have Yankees, Red Sox, which is not quite by any means what it used to be. But anytime that happens, Barstool gets cooking, the rivalry heats up, the live streams start. And so we're diving in headfirst to the Boston, New York, Barstool rivalry world right away here in the playoffs. What a game that was. But I don't want to talk too much about it because by the time everyone listens, like it's
There'll be another game.
Yeah. But I will say, having been enforcing a baseball blackout, like I wasn't watching anything. I wasn't thinking about it. I was just like trying to ignore the whole sport of baseball. But I was like, the Yankees and Red Sox are playing in the playoffs. Yeah. I have a job at Barstool Sports. I've got to watch and what a fucking game that was, man. I mean,
baseball. I don't think you should be allowed to have a baseball team if you don't have a Garrett Crochet on your team.
He was fucking stupendous.
Like I was saying it to Mutt last night watching the game, where I was like, even when we had Sale, like every pitch Sale threw, you're like, that might be his last.
Yeah, yeah.
He wasn't like a fucking guy. Like, go out there, throw 300 fucking pitches, all of them high 90s, just fucking shove.
You know what? He feels a little bit like Josh Beckett.
Yeah, remember Beckett? Exactly what I said.
Like he was, even the way Beckett like stood on the mound, like he didn't look imposing at all. Like, but he was nails, dude. He didn't give a fuck.
And that what Mutt said Evaldi, I said Beckett. I was like, it's exactly when it was like, just give the fucking big dog the ball.
Josh Beckett is for a player that never played for my team, the most I've ever rooted for.
Because he got Miami too. Or Florida.
Played for, beat them when he was with the Marlins when like nobody thought the Marlins were going to win, you know, because they were young and it was just like, who is this guy? And he dominated. And then the Red Sox. So I fucking love that guy. That crush. His performance was unbelievable. Fried was great and you withstood him. The Yankees played great defense, which they never do. You withstood that. The stretching the walk from
Rafael
was that professional at bat.
Same thing on that. I was talking to him on the stream where I was like, when he went down 0-2, I'd stop paying attention.
Right.
I was just like,
it's over.
Is Rafael on first?
He grinded, man.
It was like, I think he battled back. It was 0-2, right?
It was 0-2, and then it was like a
11.
It was like a 10 or 11 pitch at bat. He milked the walk. Next dude gets up and hits a ball, stretches it into a single because Aaron Judge is just fucking picking flowers out there. I mean, so people are blaming Aaron Judge. He's hurt. They were
but
like,
he still didn't have any hustle to get around the ball.
So the throw was like 70 miles per hour, and apparently he usually throws 90. I'm like, talk about stats?
Yeah.
Now we're talking about the miles per hour of the outfielders. But so that's true. But he could have thrown that ball 15 miles an hour if he ran to the. He was flat-footed. He was bent over.
He did a full like loop around the ball. Get in front of the fucking ball.
I think he was like, that's a single. And that dude stretched it. The clutch hit to knock it in, and then Chapman being like on the tightrope, like altogether a terrible outing and an awesome outing at once. Great game. I guess, however, the stream was not up to par, according to Dave.
I very oddly on the subway this morning ended up sitting next to Marty.
No way.
So he told me he's like, yeah, they say the stream sucked. And I got in here and Una was like, Dave says you specifically suck. And
it's always nice to hear.
I was like, well, let's play it.
I didn't mean it. Okay.
Just play it. Let me hear.
You want to talk about the kid that you're bringing in to stream tonight?
Yes.
To take care of Club Boring that you just talked about?
So Hogdale. So listen, back in I'd say when I was living in Boston or New York and I never left my chair and I was hunched back, I was on top of everything, every pitch, every sport. I didn't leave my computer. Well, it slipped a little. This kid Hogdale, I saw a call of him he calls 162 games a year to himself in the basement. He had an electric call, can't say it on FS1 because he used language, to end the game. And it was better than anything our club boring. We have Mutt out there. Mutt owes me. He took, I think, a plane or a train, a hotel room to sit on his butt and make no noise. That was the boringest feed I've ever seen for like an exciting baseball game. So we're going to send this guy Hogdale, this kid who looks like he's out of Dave Portnoy. Looks like my brain created this guy in his sleep. This kid, central casting photo I look for. He's going to come announce the game for us, probably spice it up. It's his opportunity. I reached out, I tagged him. He goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe you tagged me." I go, "Listen, I got a bunch of losers in New York who are falling asleep watching this game. Do you want to go and call it?" He's like, "Well, I have a job." A la Brandon Walker. He's like, "This is too big of an opportunity. I'll call in. I'll do whatever. I'd love to go." So he's going to be our Red Sox announcer for the rest of the playoffs, hopefully, and spice these things up. I saw Carabas and Coley, two ex-Barstool employees. They were at House of Blues in Boston. Place was going bananas. But our new guys, our Yankees guys, are absolute dorks. Don't bring an ounce of energy. And we had Feitelberg and Bald Mutt clapping like this. Game-winning hit.
Nice. We need Hogdale. We need Hogdale.
Crazy.
Okay, that's I guess a fair criticism. I would point to the video we used to promote of the Red Sox fans celebrating, and by the Red Sox fans I mean me, Dave, and Carabas, with a fist pound to win the World Series.
Just kind of always been how you are.
We would do a side split. That was a video. We would promote it all the time. It was this is Yankee fans after winning Game 1 of the ALDS, and it was them going bananas. And it was this is Red Sox fans after winning a World Series, and it would be me, Dave, and Carabas shaking hands and fist pounding. So I would argue, I would argue that I haven't changed.
Pedroia's ready to Pedroia might go charge the plate. Sandy's holding them back right now.
Ring them up. Bang! Let's fucking go. Woo, buddy.
I want to extend congrats to Hogdale, who now officially has a new job.
Yeah,
I mean that's
I'm jacked up to watch the game with Hogdale.
Yeah.
Fucking when Dave says it, like it was created in my brain. Like, yeah, I know what it was.
These are guys that Dave loves that are what you need and want for these viral moments. But I also, you are what you are and you're not what you're not. You know what I mean? Like I don't think you can fake that or force that.
And it was all
or
like,
if all of a sudden you were that guy after how many years of not being that guy.
If I just started screaming like fucking pig, Derek Rose, yeah, you fucking. You'd be like, what is Feitelberg doing?
That's what I mean. It's just not, yeah. And so that's more like if Dave wanted to just be like, well, it's hard if you were doing those streams with Dave and that's how you reacted, because then it does feel a little like hypocritical, flip-floppy.
Yeah.
But if he just said in general, like, yeah, like Feitelberg is not a crazy guy on the stream, so we want other crazy people, like, fine.
Yeah,
you know what
totally
I mean?
fine.
But yeah, to pick like that specific like stream last night as like, I don't know, it's always been this way.
I would that stream. I found out this morning that people hated it. It like I didn't walk away thinking that was an unbelievable stream, but I walked away like I walk away from every stream. I'm like, I don't know. People, I guess,
it's
like
also
watching us watch sports. Like
baseball is tough because baseball, like that game was exciting,
but
no,
not,
that game was
there
not
weren't pops.
Yeah,
there weren't home runs.
Right.
There
It was
weren't
a
great
low scoring
plays.
affair. For the vast majority, it was like 3 up, 3 down, a couple base runners, no big deal. So it's like it's not exciting. It's like tense and important and all that, but I don't think it's exciting in that there wasn't like these moments to.
What is also the difference between like that stream and I don't watch, so there might be an answer. Like, what's the difference between that stream and like Sundays? Are Sundays, are they doing stuff?
I don't know. Well, so I think what happened is
I felt like I've done a good amount of streams. I felt like a very normal stream to me.
I know what happened here. 2 things. Mutt was there, and I think that Mutt is just going to be this thing for Dave that he checks in on and watches. I don't think Dave watches the streams usually.
Yeah.
I think Dave was watching the streams for Mutt, and Coley and Carabas did a great job.
Great job.
So they had
that video of House of Blues was fucking awesome.
And
that
by the
was
way,
banged out.
if I think I've been saying this for a while, what I wanted to do, I tried to work this out with the Mets, which was never going to work because when I explain this, you're going to say, yeah, it's a silly idea, but it's my dream. I was like, do you guys have like a room inside Citi Field? I don't need it's not a suite. I don't need I don't want to be in the crowd because I need to watch this on TV. I want to do the stream, but I'd love to be at Citi for like the pregame and postgame and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
So like, is there just like somewhere a second press room, a literal closet that has a television? So we can be in the building and we can stream somehow, set up a camera, do a phone, whatever, and get the best of both worlds. Because it's always a thing here where it's like, are you going to the game? No, I've got to stream. But the people who do go get the video and the atmosphere and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've always thought that we need to like shake up some of the streams, and I think one of them is like do a live event where it's like it's a little bit of both. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're at something, it's not quite at the game, but you're at an event, but you still have the streaming moments. And so like I think if this crew went to like Billy's in the Bronx, it's a big like open bar,
Yeah.
it would be the same thing.
I don't know that it would be the same thing.
I
Carrabba's
don't want to
Carrabba's
take away
and
from
Cooley
them.
have done an incredible
Section
job.
10's a cult.
And like they used to work here.
Yeah.
Like now they don't. We let him go, and now we don't have Sox guys.
Well, that was it's like
like that's
like,
just what
this,
happens.
this Red
Like,
Sox stream stinks. I need a couple Red Sox guys who really care about it and talk about it all the time.
look, sometimes Belichick lets a guy go, and he does
And
well
he
on the
turns
other
out
team.
great. Yeah.
It's what happened.
Yeah. So I don't want to take away and be like anybody could do that, but I'm just saying that I think if Barstool were to be like we're doing a Yankees Red Sox watch party at this bar, I think it would be a big crowd too, and like that could spark some life into it. But that's always kind of been the thing of like I've got to be there for the stream. Also, the streams are for like highlights, clips. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I
That's how I would-
rarely I don't think I've ever watched like a full stream. It's sort of like when
No, I just watched the clip on YouTube.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
sure there are plenty of people who watch the full stream, but my impression of the streams was always like it's for the big moments. And
Yeah.
there weren't a ton of big moments.
I mean,
There were a lot of high stakes moments and
Yeah.
all that shit, but not a lot of big pop moments, and so it's a boring stream. And it was like I'm not sitting here going like that was fucking unbelievable. He's crazy, but like it just felt like a regular stream to me.
Yeah, you can't. I just don't know. You can't really force those things. And what you need are people who are naturally kind of like fucking lunatics.
Yeah.
And I also think that's kind of like the life cycle of things. Is like, I mean, I've been talking about it ad nauseum. Like how as I'm getting older, I'm just not as like crazy, and I'm almost trying to tone it down. But if I was 18, 24, young, unemployed, looking for a job, whatever, I think it's just different. And you can't fake that. So it's not really like a defense or like an excuse, but it's just like, yeah, it's probably good to get some new blood. I think it would be a good idea to
it's
have
great.
every
It's awesome.
stream have a guest
Yeah.
or in this case, what is inevitably a new hire or whatever, where it's like, okay, now we have a Yankees super fan on. Now we have a Red Sox super fan. We have this viral guy who does baseball, whatever. Yeah, maybe link up with guys like, I don't know, Coley and Carrabba's. And they could but you can't like fake that stuff, I mean, I watched it happen with Frank. Like Frank has become like when you want to see a Mets reaction, you go to Frank,
Yeah.
And I completely understand why that is. I don't think, me, like my reaction of like arguing why, David Stearns logically made the right moves that didn't pan out. That's not as good as Frank chewing on an inflatable boat key.
Yeah,
Keychain,
got a little salt.
The only way to buy, sell, trade, swap crypto coins is with Kraken. Like truly the only way. If you're a normal person and you're not like in the trenches of the dark web willing to risk your money and like conduct illegal activity, the best and only way is through Kraken. They have 300 crypto coins available to buy, sell, and swap. They have all of the meme coins, the biggest trends, and it's all available on one easy to use, intuitive app. Everything is legal, above board, regulated, controlled. There's customer service. You can count on it. You can rely upon it. It's not some shady platform or some shady coins that you're, getting invested in, getting scammed in. It's a real way to trade, to make money, and to do it all in the crypto world with Kraken. You don't buy it manually. You can set it and forget it and watch your money pile up. You can do DCA done right. So you buy more when prices dip. You sell more when it's high. And you can link everything to your bank account in just minutes and watch your portfolio grow. They also have Kraken Pay, which is an easy way to send money back and forth. So everyone else has, an external app or all these different things through online banking. With Kraken Pay, the same place that you're buying and selling and making money on crypto, you can send money back and forth between friends. So whether I got this round of drinks, I'm covering the bill for dinner, get me back for the ticket, whatever it might be, use Kraken Pay. There are no fees. The money transfers seamlessly and instantly. So it takes the headache out of that. And the best part of all, the little cherry on top, you can get a $200 USDG bonus referral fee when you bring your friends into the Kraken world and they sign up through you. So tell people the good word of Kraken, spread the gospel, make your money trading, and also make money for referring people. Right now, go to kraken.com/barstool, KRAKEN.com/barstool. And quit waiting and make your money at Kraken. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss and is offered to U.S. customers, excluding Washington, New York, and Maine, through Payward Interactive Inc. You're either that kind of person or you're not, and like you have your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, if the ultimate criticism is I'm not very good at being watch sports, I'm okay with that.
If somebody was like, "Boy, Frank, like that sit down, long form, one-on-one interview you did was terrible." Like, yeah, no fucking kidding. That's not what Frank does. So, but I also get where Dave's coming from, where he's just like,
yeah, no, I
wants it to
again,
be,
like I didn't walk off being like, whew, we just reinvented streaming.
Yeah.
But like I've done a lot of caves. It felt like most of the caves. If you're saying all caves need an overhaul, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what was different from that to Sundays. That felt the same thing to me.
I think we either need to, like I said, mix up like some sort of hybrid live event with the live stream. If we can't do that, I think it's electric chairs, like a one-man electric chair is what I would watch.
Yeah.
Like one or two fans that like live and die with it. I go back to that. I always reference the first one was me and Clem, and it was like you were watching two men like slowly die and sweat it out, and we had the moment with Connor Gillespie, and that was the first time we realized like that the stream was behind.
Yeah.
So I remember,
which has been 10 years in the fix it now. They fixed it thanks to Fox One.
Yeah, that's right, Fox One stream. But it was like if you saw like the audience just went from like 5,000 to 10,000, you know something's about to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it was like, it's either going to be like a strike three and we're good, or it's a home run. It was a home run, you know? So like that was the true, those were like Saw. It was like you're watching someone, die. When it's like 10 guys in a room, I love like the Mets Aliens. I thought was, it's got to be the right thing. If it's just like a collection of guys and some are happy and some are sad because it's Red Sox, Yankees, and
caves are almost like teams.
Yeah,
it's like
in a way.
They got to have this weird chemistry to work.
And you got to have the star and then the utility infielder. And, that's all.
And I would say that is a very fair criticism of the Red Sox fans, at least in the stream. It's like there wasn't a star.
And also, like you said, it's not, the stakes aren't the same. If this was like pre-curse, you'd probably be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But like 4 World Series later and 100.
I want to find that fucking video because now I'm mad.
I'll tell you what I'm mad about. Dave can obviously say whatever he wants. Austin was fucking killing you guys on Roan.com.
That was what Marty.
So boring. It was awful. And it's like,
they're right. It was, but it was a stream
for sure. But also, it's like, settle down, bro. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I would be curious, and again, I don't know the answer. There might be answers. I don't know what the difference between Sunday or like most streams I've done. Like,
did you guys
that stream wasn't more boring than like when me and Jake March watched fucking Bruins Panthers.
Did you guys? Did anybody have like big bets on it?
I had Crochet 10 strikeouts. I gave a fist pump when he struck out his 10th.
That's a ballsy bet. What was the payout on that?
250 plus 250. It wasn't like a crazy bet
for 10 strikeouts.
I think he was like 8.5 was over.
He's that good, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a high. You can have a phenomenal start and not hit 10 strikeouts.
Right. And like I don't think he hit it till like the 7th.
I would hope so. Otherwise, he's on pace to strike out 20. That's a good bet by you. I'm surprised that the odds weren't even higher on that. But because sometimes that makes a difference. If someone's in the corner like sweating out a $50,000 payout, I
think that makes the streams worse. I think the streams are better when it's just fans.
In Dave's world,
it
creates those moments.
When you
lose out your money and you're like, fuck.
But a gambling thing I get on Sundays because there's a million football games on, there's a bunch of shit going on. When it's two teams and the playoffs, not that we don't like each other, but obviously we have a rivalry between our sports. Like
that passion is way better than gambling passion.
Way better than gambling passion. Like something I have a 20-year-long bet on it. I have a 30-year-long bet on it. Like
I mean, I'm just not a gambler at all, so it doesn't really compute. But I mean, I would think what I feel, of course, the number, it depends on the number, but I think how I feel just about the team is more than I could about any bet.
Yeah. Oh,
unless it was like my life's worth, you know, then it's like, okay. Now
unless it's an incredibly irresponsible bet.
Yeah. But if it was just like, I mean, I wonder what my number would be if it was like for the Mets to lose. The Mets have to lose how much money for you to be like okay with it?
Probably a fucking weekend in Riyadh.
I would go to Saudi Arabia well before betting on the Mets. Straight up. That's straight up fucking real, man. Like if it was like to eliminate them from the playoffs, I don't think there's like. I mean, of course, there's a number, you know.
Yeah.
But it's an irresponsibly high number. Where if somebody found out that I turned down like a little bit less than that, they'd probably be mad at me, you know. But I just, you know, it's like I said, it's like it's the only thing I want in this world that I can't get. I can hopefully get more money.
Yeah.
Can't make this happen, so I'm not going to risk those times. But the Riyadh thing is funny, man. You know, it almost seems like there's like more reaction going on now that it's like happened. I don't know. I feel like more comics are speaking up. Like Marin had said something and Shane had said something, but now I see David Cross came out and people are starting like more people are posting.
Weekend of it? Isn't it 2 weekends?
Is that what? Yeah. Okay. So
I think
maybe,
like,
so we're in the middle of it now, and that's why.
I think Burr's already done it, and he talked about it on his Monday morning.
What did he say?
I only read like a paragraph quote, but he spoke very positively of it. He's like, it was a great time.
I was surprised that like him and Louis did it. Like you said yesterday or on the last podcast, I think, or maybe this was off the air. I don't know. When you were like, no one on that lineup like needs the money.
Yeah, well,
but
you can't
like
say you need the money. You can say
guys.
you want the money.
Yeah.
You can't say you need the money.
But specifically like Burr and Louis, like Louis doesn't really do like anything for money.
Right.
He's kind of it's very strange for a guy who's like a kind of a recluse almost to then pick this to come out to. He must have got a bag or something that made it worth his while, because I feel like, you know, just being like, hey, do you want to do like Madison Square Garden doesn't get him going.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
I read
I wonder what the motivation is for those, like Kevin Hart was there, right?
Hart, yeah.
Burr, Louis.
Burr, I
like,
can speak to a little bit because I remember reading an article with him like a year ago. So maybe this was even on his plate, or maybe it was just something they were talking about. But he was promoting the play he was in. Fucking
Bill Burr?
Yeah, I forget the play. It was him, Bob Odenkirk, and Kieran Culkin were in a play.
Right.
I forget what it was called, but whatever.
Mr. Broadway, can't remember the name of the show.
I do know
Slippin'.
David Mamet wrote it, though.
Oh. Gay. Feitelberg has sucked somebody's dick in the bathroom of Hurricane O'Reilly's. That was the gayest thing he's ever done.
Mamet, actually a very toxic masculinity writer. Glenn Ross, yes.
That's the name of the show?
That's the name of the play. And in the movie, Alec Baldwin's in it. But so they just did that on Broadway.
Got it.
But he was promoting that. And for some reason, they were talking about comedy in the Middle East. And Bill Burr was saying, I thought it was interesting. This is definitely a rationalization and all that stuff, but it is like kind of a fair one. He was like, I'd be happy to go to the Middle East. And I'm going to paraphrase here. But he's like, because... You know, he said, I know there'll be things I can't say, but like I got to go and I got to move the fucking line of scrimmage 5 yards so the next person can come and they can move it 3 yards. I
did feel that way a little. I mean, again, that is a rationalization and I get it. You're kind of like making it fit, but
it's one that's hard. You're hard pressed to argue against it. You're like, yeah, he's right.
Like what is? I was gonna say, what's the difference? I know what the difference is here. It's like, if they continued to be a dictatorship, human rights violating regime, then like, yeah, you're just sports washing and now comedy washing and all that shit while you're still behind closed doors doing like horrible things. That's probably definitely what's happening. I don't think anyone in Saudi Arabia is like turning over a new leaf. But if there is some element of like, I guess it's just such bullshit. But if there was a world where somebody was like, we're changing our culture and we need to westernize and meet in the middle and all that, I think it would be a good thing. But we just know it's bullshit, and that's the problem.
It is. But like I heard it and I was like, I mean, you got a point.
Like what if there's 100 years down the road, there's peace in the Middle East, or there's better relations between the Middle East and America or whatever, and people are like, you know what, like really started it was like doing wrestling and sports and comedy. Like you can tell yourself that at night. It's not gonna happen. But there's at least like a path
to call what it is. It's a great rationalization.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's here is a hoop that you can jump through. A hoop exists, you know. There are some things that hoop does not exist. There's one that you can make up.
Yeah.
To you know, while you count your money, you can talk about this.
And I honestly, you'll have to find the article. I think it was in like Riyadh or something, but like, I don't even think I certainly had not heard of this, so I don't think he was even referring to this specifically. He might have done shows in the Middle East before, and he was talking about those. I don't know. It was weirdly timed to have it make sense now. But like I get what he's saying, but then also I heard that like the guy who's the minister of culture or whatever it is they call it, like a wing at the prison is named after him, and they hang people by their feet until they die. And it's it's like that's the guy who's cutting the check.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like you're talking about some dirty money.
Dude, like,
dirty
wait,
blood money.
A wing at the prison is named after the guy who signed my check.
And I haven't seen this or confirmed it for like myself, but I have heard people saying that like the way that those guys you're talking about are like dressing and presenting themselves versus what they like usually do.
Yeah.
Is like, I guess they're westernized or whatever and like not looking like, you know, in their traditional garb, which is like, yeah, we're just like cosplaying here to trick you into thinking, you know what I mean? Like
in Veep, there's that line when Selena's dating, I think his name's Jafar, but the Muslim guy. and he like shakes hands with her. Oh, they're not even dating yet. It's just the first time they meet and they shake hands in the Oval Office. And she's like, "Well, no touching." And he goes, "Oh no, it's fine. Just don't let the lunatics back home." And like, I feel like that's how they are.
Yeah, they're about their money and like, you know, they're not like radical fundamentalist religious freaks. They're like, we're trying to make money over here. You know,
it might be like really insensitive to say, but like if we did send over like Sydney Sweeney and like Megan Fox, like. No, I was gonna finish that.
No, keep going. I love it. Keep going.
It's like, kind of be like, this is awesome.
Send over our hottest OnlyFans girls and show them a good time.
I just feel like, and they don't have to like. They would just like the slightest bit of cleavage, you know, like. And then
these are tits. We like these in America. What do you guys think?
We were talking about on the stream last night, a very exciting stream, and we were breaking down
the geopolitical standards of comedy.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it. No, we were just talking about like the sports washing and stuff like that. And I said, I was like, it has to stop at some point, right?
No, I think it's going to keep going.
But like, isn't it at some point, like, at some point it has to stop, right? Because like everyone keeps going, this is really bad. And at some point, someone has, right? Like, I feel like as a larger people, you go, all right, it's trickled down far enough that we'll go, like when it happened with wrestling, and when it happened with the NBA, and when it happened with Live Golf, not the NBA,
but golf,
with Live Golf.
Wrestling, golf, and comedy have been like, you know, in my.
But there's what with the NBA is, it's the Knicks jerseys. The Knicks, no, it's not Saudi, it's Abu Dhabi. And
and then there was the thing with LeBron and China and all that. Like they're mixed up in that. Political.
It's all
more China
all
than
whatever you refer to as like sports washing. Like at some point, doesn't someone have to go like, all right?
I don't think so.
I feel like at some point people stop saying it's bad. I feel like it goes
you think that happens first?
But
I
that's
think
disappointing.
That would happen first. It's
I think that it will stop because they will exhaust like the big names. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're interested in, I don't think they just keep going. I think they're like, we want the heavy hitters.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder if, like, would Bill Burr do it again?
Yeah.
Maybe he would. I don't know, maybe. But, like, I just don't know if it's going to trickle down to the point that you'd be like, it's KFC Radio live in Saudi Arabia. Like, I don't think they're interested in that. So there's a finite amount of stars, athletes, whatever, that they want. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Also,
no, that's a good point. That, like, they only want the cream of the crop. So there isn't really going to be a second layer.
No, I was trying to
come on over to fucking where's it? Saudi Arabia. We've got
the dogs playing poker.
Yeah, I couldn't even think. I was trying to race through my mind for a comic who I was comfortable saying, and I didn't have one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
I just use myself when I use those examples. I was thinking about it more myself because I've said to everybody here, and I said on the show, like, I'm going, and but then I started to really think of it, like. You know, when push comes to shove, I probably really wouldn't. And that's I'm not out of like morals really, as much as it's because a couple people did say to me, like, everyone kind of laughs and some people say like, yeah, but there was a couple people that were like, yeah, I know you would go and that's disappointing, but like, that's your choice. And I was like, oh, okay. Wow. Fuck. Like maybe I need to really examine this a little bit more. So I started thinking about it more and it's like, it's a tough one to actually pull the trigger. One, because like if there was anybody in my life who was ever really important that was like they like kill people like me over there, I'd be like, yeah, that sucks, you know? But even beyond the morals and shit, I'm talking about like, I started to play out how it would literally go. And it's like, again, I can't even really put myself in the spot because I can't even imagine someone caring about me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if I was like getting off the plane and like shaking hands with fucking MBS, you know what I mean? Or whoever it is that's like, and then, you're literally in their world and you can feel that you're getting played. Like when I did that, I was sort of like, yeah, you're right. I'm not that guy, you know? Unless the number was like astronomical where I could look past all of it. So in a weird way, I'm even a bigger piece of shit because it's not necessarily about the morals. It is more about like, I don't want to travel over there. I gotta be like we're taking like an Uber together or something. I don't know. Just the thought of really being entrenched in it. If I could like show up, do a podcast and bounce, but I think it's more of like they want, they're going to get your money's worth.
It is also
that's where I don't know if I could do that.
Like, again, like you have to add this caveat every time that it's not an issue for me. I can sit here on this couch and go, I wouldn't take the money because it's not offered to me.
And that's a big part of it because like if it was a reality, I do think you start to think about it differently one way or the other. Maybe you'd be like, I'm rich and I don't need it, or maybe you'd be like, they're coming and I do want it. So that does change how you would think about it in a major way.
It would be like telling people when I'm older. That's what would bother me. Like telling my
I think
if I'm telling my kids, I'm like, yeah, like here's $6 million that I'd never spent because I fucking didn't need it.
Yeah.
And they're like, where'd this come from? And I'm like, like the worst day in American history. That guy.
But like
like and the stuff with this, which is also so weird, is that like it almost feels like Israel-Palestine in times where you're scared to like is it racist to say they did 9/11? And everyone's like, no, they just did it. And you're like, wait, really? They did it?
Can we go get them? Can we arrest them or something?
They did 9/11. Like, what do you like? I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah,
like
it's a pretty bad one to have on your record. But I almost think the opposite in a way. It's like I think it's a really big deal right now, and I certainly think years from now it would be like whatever.
I see, but I
like
think,
even just look at the live golf. Like nobody cares about or talks about that anymore.
No one cares about it except I bet the people whose like money it is. Like no one in reality cares.
Well,
but like when it's your money, I think
I disagree with that only because if you're the type of people, if you want it and do it, you don't care.
Some of them for sure. And
you think there's a lot of people who took the check and then regretted it.
Not a majority by any stretch or anything like that. But I would hope there's a person or two who's like,
what would really be the move? We're talking about like PR because that's really what this comes down to. Is just like because this is where I say that I would going back to like the insignificant thing that I said before. Like I don't think this is changing things one way or the other. I think that there's just thousands of years of like I just don't think anything's changing.
Yeah.
So this really comes down to like what are people going to say about you and think about you for doing it in a way, But
also like how are you going to feel about yourself?
Well, right. Yes. Yes. I mean, that's where I think that most people doing it are like cool with it or not cool with it. And you made your, I think both sides are fine sleeping in their bed.
For sure.
And you're probably right. There's a couple that maybe don't, but I would love somebody to go get the money and come back and do something with it. That's like, I took my $5 million and I'm funding the other side or I'm donating it to Palestine or whoever, whatever it was. That would like piss them off would be a cool move. Like that's
Tim Dillon did it perfectly, and I don't think he did it on purpose, but he agreed to do it, and they were like, okay, and then he said something that got him fired from it, but they still had to pay him a certain amount, like a
I don't know if he was joking, but I think he said something like he referred to them as
something about them slaves.
They had slaves.
Is that what it was? Yeah. I was surprised. He's been pretty open. He said he got offered $375,000,
which is not a lot
for him. That's like 1 month on Patreon.
That's what I mean. Like,
so that was surprising.
If these numbers are like the ones like the Dan and Dave, where it was 10 million or 15 million or whatever it was, like that's a big number. If it's $300,000,
that
150, right? like wait,
they have taxes over there.
We gonna get a fucking nice fucking 2-stecker in Sheboygan.
that was surprising. And Tim is like almost as big as it gets. So unless he just got like a shitty negotiation, I like if we're even in that ballpark, if Dan and Dave are throwing out 10 million and Tim Dillon's getting 375,000, like somebody's either lying or doing it wrong or
wait, was it 10 million each or both?
It's a split. So 5.
Yeah, so 5 million each, but that's a far cry from 375 grand. It's fine. I'd have to imagine like. You think Kevin Hart, Louis, or Burr was like the biggest on that? They're all kind of big and different in their own way. You know what I mean?
I don't know how. I don't know like Saudi culture.
Well, that's
Like-
what I'm
like
wondering
they
if they're
might-
like, we need a black guy. Let's give him the most.
But they might
we
like,
need, like-
you know, like Donnie has that in China where like they pay white people like 5 times
Yeah,
the price.
right,
Whatever.
right.
Like, I don't know what it's like in Saudi
It's also
Arabia.
funny to think like, there's no way that these people watch, know, or care about golf, wrestling, and comedy, right?
Yeah.
I think they just know. I think they're like smart when it comes to money and all that shit. Where they're like, let's identify the most like rabid Americans, and when you really, it's like crazy wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Golf has like the money and the affluence, and then like comedy has been what's like dominated our entertainment and political space for the last like, you know. So I wonder if they're just like, who's that? Louis CK? Like,
Yeah.
give him $5 million. Who's the black guy? Give him $2 million. You know, or if there is some like a minister of culture that's like, you got to see Louis' last special. It was, you know,
I would love to see like a interview 2 version with like Kevin Hart, Louis, like all that, where they don't like kill anybody, but they go into they go into Saudi like Arabia and they just try and change things. Like I feel like
I
it's
can
a
see
great
that.
movie
Yeah.
to have, you know?
what it like,
Or I was,
again, this is, go ahead, finish.
no, you go.
I was gonna say like it's entirely hypothetical. I don't want to be. I'm not even making excuses, and I'm certainly not being like pie in the sky here. But like, if for some reason there was ever a concerted effort, if Saudi Arabia was like, we need to change, would that change things? If it was like we're getting rid of Sharia law, we're changing our views, and as kind of a show of faith, we're going to like mix with the West and do these things.
I would think so.
Right? I mean, like how
I don't know how any of
there was
that
some
works.
magic way,
Yeah.
you know, to they promise and they have to, you know, magic genie. You know, like, you have to go through with it, and people knew that was the case. Like, does that change things? Because then, in a way, it becomes like missionary work or something like that, where it's like, yeah, we're like going out into the world and changing it, and we're gonna like, it's like
we're basically Jehovah's Witnesses.
it's like it's the Bloods and the Crips. You know, that picture of them holding up the thing together. Like, if there was a genuine effort, I wonder if that would make things different, or if people would just be like, no, we cannot forgive 9/11. We can't forgive any of this. Again, that's more of just like a thought exercise because it's not real or true. But
I do feel like, I don't know, like if a dictatorship, that's kind of the beauty of it, is like kind of just takes one guy to like convince a little bit. You know?
dictatorships are fucking rule, man.
Like,
I wonder if that's true though, or if someone would
yeah,
like
there's no
overthrow you and
evidence.
chop your head
Also,
off. And,
yeah.
like,
and there's like deep religion.
do you think a show in Russia would get as much pushback?
No.
Right? So like, where's the line? And again, I understand 9/11's a line.
Yeah.
But like, there are plenty of other countries, honestly, including our own,
Yeah.
where it's like you're gonna perform. You're gonna go to like Michigan and perform. Those people don't have clean drinking water.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can play this game with morals and you know what's right and wrong all around the world, including in our own home, where it's like that's really bad. But if this is that much closer, that's okay. And if this. And if what's the money versus, you know, how bad is your country, all that, you know, I don't know. There is a clear cut argument, but then it also can get a little dicey.
I think the 9/11's got it because it is like you're right. There are plenty of things we do in other countries where it's like, well, that's their business what they do with their citizens.
We turn a blind eye to a lot of stuff, and this is not turning a blind eye. It's like actively engaging in it. Trust me, I do understand all the things, but it's just like, I don't know, fucking kids get shot every day in our schools, and we just like, you can play that game with a lot of countries and a lot of people in a lot of ways. But yeah, the 9/11's it's a doozy. It's a biggie.
But like I knew Mohammed Atta, right? He's a Saudi. I know they're Saudis, but like when we say they, like the Crown family gave them the money to do it.
Yeah, like, I think it's like those guys signed off. You know, they
Yeah.
pushed the button, they sent the money. I think
I feel like we should do something about that. I feel
We
like
did for maybe 15
Well,
or 20
that's
years.
also
but
another
if we're
wrinkle.
still saying they're the guys who did it,
That's another.
again, I don't know if this is what I hear. If that's true, I feel like we should go get those guys.
But don't you think there's also some guys being like, some of these comics are being like, I mean, the government ain't doing shit about it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, why is this on me? We know these guys funded and or executed 9/11, and they're just letting it. So that's
Is it
it's also
crazy
like
to say?
this the whole government is the Riyadh Comedy Festival in terms of what we turn a blind eye to, or what we allow or condone or you know partner with in some ways. It's like, oh, there's oil. We got to worry about this, that, and the other. It's like, So I'm gonna go do my jokes and get a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
bag.
No,
You know?
I'll tell you what, it's another great rationalization.
Yeah, it's none of it is like a good, wholesome something you can rest your head on the pillow at night. But if you want the money, and you can make the argument,
Yeah.
like there's people way above me that should be doing way more,
Yeah.
than just like I'm gonna tell some jokes because I do.
But I
believe
guess
it.
that's where I come down to like someone's got to say no eventually, right? Because like the Bucks got to stop.
Well, I
If
do
it
think
keeps,
I
if it
think
keeps
I think,
going like, well, LeBron did it.
I think Shane and Marin was a good.
Yes.
But
I also I'm not strictly speaking in comedy. I just mean like everywhere you go now.
Right. What do you think? What do you think
you
will be the
see
next sector that they go after?
college football NILs.
What about music?
Mm.
Have they fucked with music that much?
I don't know what you can do with
I also
music.
don't think they will
Concerts.
ever
That's
fuck. with,
like have the shows over there.
Like have a music
Yeah.
festival. I, feel like
I don't think they'll ever fuck with women though.
They,
Oh, good
I
point.
was
So,
gonna
like-
ask if you think it's like worse or better for a woman, like an American woman comedian, to go do it.
Worse.
Really?
Well, I don't know about worse. I think it'll be worse for her. I don't know about
for
like
her,
backlash
morally,
goes.
Do you think it's like I can do it?
I almost think a girl going, it's like
Because there was one. on
you
the
like
lineup.
earned it, you deserve it in
That's,
a way.
that's
I don't
what
know.
I was thinking. I'm like, I feel like
If you went and did it, and you were like I said, you come back home and you donate some money, or you do something like this is for the women who can't do that over there. I think that's almost like more of a statement than a guy just going and taking the money. Again,
I
all
just also, like,
rationalizations, but
I'm ignorant. Like I don't know what women's life is like in Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia. Like not exactly. So
I'm
like,
sure Saudi Arabia has parts where they like chop your hands off in the streets, and then I think there are parts that are. I mean, people. I see it on Instagram all the time. These like beautiful resorts that are like the nicest settings and buildings you could ever be in, but you got to go to Saudi Arabia to do it. And there's still a lot of people who do it.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. There's a whole. It's just a little more nuanced than I think. It is and isn't all at the
Yeah.
same time. It's a very clear cut thing, but also if you want to get into the nitty gritty, I think there's a lot of different things to be said and
it's like
discussed.
I'll give you the grace of being like, yeah, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
But like ultimately, I think you're pretty crazy to take it.
Yeah. I just again I go back to like I don't think anything's changing. And I think if I could do some good with this in my life for the people that matter to me, that means more.
Yeah.
I don't know. But maybe I'm a piece of shit. I think Shane's really important because Marin spoke out about it, but Marin, it's almost becoming politics in a way where, it's like Marin is so outspoken all the time that it just kind of becomes like that's what you expect from him.
Yeah.
The same way you expect certain things from the left and the right. Shane is always the one where like people try to put him in a box or assume he's one way, and then when he says something that's not hardcore conservative, people go like, wait a minute, what? And so I think he always kind of keeps people on their toes. So I think that's a big one to come out and say no to. I also think legitimately Shane being like a history buff and like into that stuff, like played into it. I think, some guys are probably like, oh yeah, like they do fucked up stuff in Saudi Arabia, but like whatever, like me, I'm like, whatever. I think if you watch documentaries and read books and you know all of it, it's a lot easier to be like, do you know like some of the details of what they do to women? Some of the, when you start to hear some of the horrific specifics, it's a lot different. So, but yeah, Marin was like, I feel like Marin and Theo Vaughn need to do like Rough and Rowdy. I feel like that, like they almost, I don't know if they like, I think they definitely don't, at least Marin doesn't seem to like Theo, but I also think that's just like what they represent. Again, almost like political left and right. But he did have a funny bit being like talking about Hitler. He was like, if Hitler was alive, he'd go on Theo Vaughn's podcast.
Yeah.
And he does the voice very well and all that. Phoenix is the first drink that combines everything you need into one can. It's not just your typical energy drink. Crack that bad boy, John. Oh, that was like a clean dab. That was like pop. That popped. It gives you natural energy, great flavors, 8 different essential vitamins that you can get for immunity, so you'll stay healthy. You won't get sick. And it gives you that energy with no crash. And it delivers full functionality in a delicious drink. Whether you're crushing morning workouts or you're fighting through the brutal 3 p.m. crash, Phoenix has got you covered, and they don't give you any jitters. It's just sustained performance with no crash at the end. It is the best on the market today. It's built for people who answer the call and need to be at their best when everything's on the line. So if you're working hard or you got a tight schedule, studying for school, juggling kids, whatever it might be, Phoenix is for you. Right now, you can go to drinkphx.com and use promo code Barstool5, the number 5, for $5 off your order. That's drinkphx.com. Promo code Barstool5 for $5 off your order. Theo, did you see what happened with him and his Netflix special? That was crazy. At first I was thinking that was maybe just like, right away. So Theo had a Netflix taping, and a bunch of posts on social media being like, Theo just bombed. And at first I was thinking, I don't know, maybe that's one fan or someone who has an axe to grind or whatever, but it seems like every review seems to say like he was bombing, he was stopping and starting, he was going backstage, he was saying outright like, what do I say next, and stuff like that. And then there was that clip of him afterwards where he was like apologizing to the crowd. Yeah. And he was like, it's been a rough month for me, my mental health is suffering, I've been trying not to take my own life, so like I'm sorry about that. So that's a bad situation all around.
Yeah, he's probably just busy as hell. Like,
yeah, I think Theo, I mean, I don't really know the guy, so I can't say, but I just know if I was him, and I mean, he really blew the fuck up. Like Rogan is like the biggest in the world, but he's like been the biggest in the world, and he's been going up since 2009.
Yeah.
Theo was like, I'm on Real World, and then I'm the goofy guy with the southern accent, and then it went boom. Like he's got 15 million followers. Like that's a lot. That's not just like you're popular. That's like you are a cultural like icon. And I think if that was me, and it was like all the newfound fame, all the new success, and then by his own design, so I can't like give him too much slack, like you get involved in the politics, and I would have to venture to guess that he's a little in over his head on the politics.
Yeah.
Like you got to really be well informed to understand what you're doing and what's happening. And then that's part of the criticisms of these comedy podcasts doing it is like, I don't think you really understand all the implications.
Which like none of us do.
Right. I'm not saying you're dumb, I'm smart. It's like, I think we're all in that boat. Like I said, the other podcast, like I think a lot of people are thinking about tickets and fans and followers and not geopolitical ramifications, So I think it seems like Theo kind of had that realization. It was like he tweeted like he doesn't agree with Ice used him in that promo, and he said,
well, that's also like that. I guess it's not. I don't know what the word for it is, but like anyone who was following, like I follow Theo, you could see that was going to happen.
You made your own bed.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like you made your bed, and now you're upset with your bed, and you don't want to sleep in it. And it's a good sign that you don't want to sleep in it, but it's a little too late. The bed is fully made.
When you're tweeting pictures like with the Trumps at Mar-a-Lago, like, yeah, you know how the Trumps operate. They're going to start using you to market themselves.
I saw a post that was talking about how Theo was saying like, I'm trying not to take my own life. And this was a kind of a conspiratorial, super extremist political account, I think. And it was saying, like, this is so important because Theo comes from the manosphere, comes from the bro culture, and he's speaking up. I think they were talking about how he spoke out against Israel. He's like pro-Palestine. And then they were saying because of that, they might be trying to take his life. They might be trying to kill him, and he's got to come out and say, all those crazy things, right? But the main point was them being like, this is so important because Theo is speaking up for what's right and good. And a lot of the comments were like, are you out of your fucking mind? Like, yeah, maybe in this one moment, but he had to come out and say that, and people were so surprised by it because of everything else he's done leading up to that. So, yeah, it's tough. I sympathize with him as just like a human, but logically speaking, it's tough to be like, yeah, man.
I really like Theo. I just also saw this one coming.
And maybe he didn't see it coming?
Yeah.
And then it's super duper lesson learned.
Video. I don't mean what happened on stage and all that stuff. But I knew the government was going to start using Theo Von to.
I mean, they already did. Right. When Donald Trump's on your show, you're getting used.
They were already doing it when you were at Mar-a-Lago.
Yes. When you're at the inauguration, when you're, all those guys. Like, I mean, it happened when Dave interviewed him. It was like, this is very clearly you're using me to get votes, and I'm using you to get status. Transactional
situation.
And if you agree to that and you're cool with that, fine. I just could see a scenario where like he got in so deep. Like he's not an idiot. I think he knew what was going on. But when all of a sudden, like more or less overnight in the grand scheme of things, people view you as like a political pundit. Right. It's like you got to be like, whoa, wait a second. Fuck. That's why it's a dicey game. It's like same thing with.
I think that's almost kind of like the Saudi stuff we're saying. Like someone's got to eventually say no. Where like that was kind of with like so many celebrities were on this fucking rise because of cancel culture or whatever, that like someone should have been like, guys, we're all being a little crazy. Right
Yeah,
now.
it's all very reactionary.
Yeah.
Because I do get where comics were coming
Well,
from.
wait, no, this is what I'm gonna say. Sorry. Like, I feel like this used to happen in the past, and I feel like it doesn't happen anymore. Like, politicians used to like reject backings.
Yeah, like lobbyists. Like, I'm not going to take your money because then I'm in your
Not
pocket.
even that, but like David Duke would say he backed this politician, and the politician would go,
Yeah.
I reject his backing.
Yes.
People don't do that anymore.
You know what
People
it's
don't
like?
go like, I have this group's backing, I don't want it. I feel like that's a much rarer thing these days.
It's like when you're in an argument at Barstool and Nate's on your side.
Yeah, like I don't like the
I reject your like extension of friendship.
like,
Like,
yeah,
no,
exactly.
you know?
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays I feel like everyone it's just
Get as much as you can.
as much as you can, and I don't care
Good,
who
bad, or
likes
the
me.
other.
Just as long as you're liking me, it's fine. Like I think more people should go. I don't want that group to like me.
I
I disagree with that group.
The whole world is quantity over quality
Yeah.
in every way, shape, and form. Now that's a great point about it. And
Sorry. No. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I actually almost feel like if changes were to be made, the only way, because I feel like now it's so like influencer heavy, comedian heavy, that like if you were to kind of be like get everyone on your side and then you just slowly like kind of boiling water like change their opinions a little bit.
yeah, like if it was
That actually feels more effective than being like, no guys, like don't listen to me.
For sure.
And then
I agree with that. I think it takes a very like smart, measured person who has like a plan in place. Like, let's get these fucking guys, and then we're gonna like change them. I think most people are just like, I'm gonna sell that many more tickets. I'm gonna get that many more views, and then I'll deal with the ramifications later.
Yeah.
Even
Gotta keep your house clean.
yeah.
Otherwise, it starts
Yeah.
to pile up, and you go, "This place is just fucking shit."
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, even when Trump was, when we were like going to war, it felt that way, and he didn't release the Epstein files, and all the comics were like, "This isn't what I signed up for." And a lot of the other side was like, "We told you that." Like, yeah,
If you were paying attention, it's exactly what you signed up for.
Yeah, that's where it gets hard. It's like if it was if everybody was surprised, and it's like, yeah, listen, we didn't see it. If we elected Barack Obama and he became a dictator, I think people would be like, holy shit. But when there was a whole slew of people saying, you're getting played, and this is only step one because step two is he's going to do this, that, and the third, and then they're like, hang on. It's like, yeah, we fucking told you. That's where some of the like. It's hard to flip flop now, and it's.
I guess I will also credit this. A lot of people aren't flip flopping; they just stop talking about it.
Well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing is
like,
that people are just
I
like,
used to
never
talk
mind.
about politics. When?
Yeah.
When?
No, that politics is like any other wave of content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
100%.
We got to talk about Caitlin Clark in the WNBA right now, and in like a year from now, that'll eventually calm down. It's
We
like,
gotta talk about bacon now.
yeah, stupid things that just get. A hold on culture, and politics should not be one of those things.
Yeah.
Politics shouldn't be one of those stupid fads. It should be something that like matters and is important and lasts. And instead, it's just like the flavor of the fucking week.
Yeah.
wait, sorry, what was the ice video? Theo ice video?
It was like a selfie video Theo took of himself. I'm sure in a different situation, but he's saying, "Heard you got deported, bro. Bye." And then
They
it
made
would,
like a hype video for.
and then it went into a highlight reel of them. Like masked guys tackling, I don't know if it's tackling people, but like, dragging people off and stuff
Did
like
ICE
that.
make this edit of themselves?
Yes.
Yes.
The White House, yeah.
Yeah. So they like used, it would be. It's almost like if, you took me out of context, being like, if I one time sarcastically said something good about the Yankees, and then the Yankees like took a video and be like, even this guy's rooting for him. Like, no, I did not say that. Yeah, but it's like, it's probably a little bit like. It seems like paranoia to be like, wait a minute, if I say this, ICE might take that out of context and use it to make like a hype video. But if you're going to be that big, successful, important, and go that heavy into the political world, you or someone on your team needs to be smart enough to have that foresight.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever think to be like, well, wait a minute, immigration's going to use me against them. But like, if you're going to get into that world, I would love an advisor or someone who's like, oh, that happened to this guy before. That's what they do. You got to like, if you're going to be in it, you got to know.
Ask for rights or something, right?
I don't think so because he
You think the White House asked for
yeah, they don't
rights?
give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he immediately quote tweeted and was like,
"Send
"This is
me
not
a
my."
check and take it down."
Oh,
he was like,
got it,
"Send me
got
a
it,
check,
got it.
you know where I live," and they took it down very quickly.
Got
Yeah,
it.
But the damage, it's already out there.
Yeah.
And, it's like smart in a way. It's like we'll delete this in 5 hours, but it's out there.
Right, yeah. And then people will talk about it for 2 weeks. Then it'll be better promo than if we left it up.
100%. SAXX is the original pouch underwear in a market full of pretenders and fakers. SAXX is the original. Since 2006, they've been making comfortable underwear with performance in mind, where the waistband stays put and is comfortable. It doesn't ride up. You've got the ballpark pouch technology. When you see the pouch, man, it's got like mesh, and then it's got these like almost like a waistband, like a little mini waistband that goes like around.
Yeah,
it's not
you
just
feel
like
locked in.
Yeah,
you feel locked in. You feel like you're in like a cradle.
Yeah, it's like a little angel holding your balls,
like a hammock.
Yeah, and like
balls in a hammock all day. Come on.
I think other pouches are just like extra fabric there. This is like designed as a pouch to hold your ball sack. No chafing, no riding up, no weird adjusting midday, just distraction-free comfort that lasts. You put them on in the morning and you go, wow, that's comfortable. But then you walk out the door, you never think about them again until you take them off at night because they're just out of sight, out of mind, and they perform with you all day long. Once you try SAXX, you'll realize how bad the other underwear is, and you'll never go back. Upgrade your drawers and upgrade your day at SAXX.com. That's SAXX.com to upgrade your comfort. SAXX.com. Did you see Jeremy Allen White's Bruce Springsteen clip?
No.
I'm gonna play this for you. I know you're not really a big Bruce guy, right?
I'm not a big Bruce guy.
I just want to play this
like
for
Bruce
you.
Springsteen,
And
I'm just not like Cons or Kirk or something like that.
I want you to just like tell me, what your reaction is. What's your opinion of that? What's your gut reaction to that?
I don't really have one. I don't know.
Do you think it sounds like Springsteen?
I think it sounds enough like
Yeah.
Springsteen. I thought Springsteen does his own lyrics. I thought they were using Bruce's voice in this. I could be wrong on that.
I
didn't
don't
know.
think so, only because people are reacting to it like they're like judging it.
I saw what DJ Bean is usually pretty calm.
And also he had a quote that said like it took me a long time to nail the voice.
Okay.
Maybe I was speaking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I only really bring it up because I saw Kirk is like the biggest Bruce fan. It's like Kirk and 15-year-old Steve, and he just quote tweeted and said, "Nope." I thought that was good, good enough that like for he's a movie, he's acting. It's not gonna be perfect. I think that passes as a Bruce Springsteen.
I mean, Kirk's obviously a diehard, so he would know much better than I. But like, if I was watching the movie,
I think
that
Kirk was
wouldn't
gonna have that reaction about any performance from Jeremy Allen White. So that doesn't surprise me, I guess. But my first reaction was like, oh, I think he did pretty good. I don't know Bob Dylan enough, but I think Chalamet did Bob Dylan well, right? I think Jamie Foxx did Ray Charles like perfectly. I thought that was good enough. I'm sure if you're a diehard Kirk fan, like the idiosyncrasies and the little nuances of his voice, that maybe he didn't nail it. But that I guess my point is that's just like almost a impossible thing. Like the diehard fans are gonna be such sticklers for it. And
like Brady's statue gets unveiled, and Patriot fans are like, "That's not the way."
And the rest of the world's like,
it's because you're so passionate about it. Is why it's actually. You know what? We were before the game last night. We were talking. We went to a bar, the Boring Crew, and we were just talking about.
Boy, what a fall from grace from Club Cool to Boring Crew. Do you guys know Club Cool? You know that story? When we first moved to New York, like me, Feits, Light Switch Lou was there. A couple other like people who I don't think you're here anymore.
Yeah.
Was Dan there?
Dan was there, I think.
We all went to Kanye, the Life of Pablo tour when he had the floating, right? He had the floating stage and that, and we went to the Garden. We had a suite. It was like Hank's old roommate. Hank's old roommate is like
new roommate. Well, I guess it's new roommate at the time. Old roommate now. Yes.
Is like right hand man of Kanye, right?
He was a tour manager at the time.
Yeah, I feel like I was hearing stories.
Fucking man.
Zach was like designing Yeezy, like picking beats. He was like running Kanye's whole show. So we got tickets. We went, and Dave did not like that.
Dave
did not like that. I don't know if it was because like he was not invited or if he just doesn't like us or whatever. but he called us Club Cool. Like, oh, look at Club Cool, like going out together. And he put up a picture of us, and he like on Microsoft Paint like numbered it with red paint, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and went through being like, this guy would have no life without me. This guy would have no life without me. This guy would have no life without me. And what do they think they're doing going to this Kanye concert, I guess, without me? So that was Club Cool. And now, but that's, you were young and cool. Now you're old and lame.
Yeah.
You're aging appropriately. Congrats. You're now the Boring Crew.
But we were talking about, One Battle After Another. And they were talking
about what?
One Battle After Another.
Is that what Springsteen is?
The
Or-
Leo movie.
Leo, okay. Got it.
And I think Hubs was like, I'm gonna watch. He said something very similar to what you said. He's like, I'm gonna watch it late, and I'm not gonna like it. And I was like, I get that, and I was kind of explaining what we explained on the show. But then I realized another big thing of like why some people like me like a movie much more is I was like, it's like the Yankees, dude. Like you are I'll if I watch a baseball game, right? If I watch a Yankee game with you, or when you're Hubs, if I watch a Yankee game with you, I'll recognize a good game. I'll go, oh, that was a good game. And if something spectacular happened, you'd be like, you don't even know the half of it, dude. Like that guy's been hurt for 6 months.
Yeah.
That guy's his fucking wife's got cancer. Like
Sure.
And like I know those things about a movie. So like I obviously like it much more.
Yeah.
Because I know all the little things rather than
That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. Where it's just
You
like,
appreciate it more. You understand why it's a bigger deal.
Right.
All that stuff.
I'm like, yeah, I can watch a good Yankee game and go, that was a fucking great baseball game. But if there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes,
you wouldn't
I
know.
wouldn't
Care.
be that invested in that stuff.
I think that's a great point about the Leo movie, to the point that I still like you have to remind me of the name. That movie is called the Leo movie.
Yeah.
It's actually very interesting when you like, I'm sure they think about this in terms of marketing. Once you get the major stars, that movie is the Leo and Sean Penn movie in my mind. You know, like I just heard that these two like knocked it out of the park, and it's coming, and I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know the title. I didn't even like care to watch the trailer or find out about it. I was just like, I'm going to watch this no matter what it is. I've heard good things about it, but I don't know anything about it. It's like, if I was like a writer, creator, of course you want Leo and Sean Penn to be the guys bringing your words to life, but it also almost overshadows everything else in the movie, you know? Did you see, I saw a clip of McConaughey talking about True Detective Season 1. I loved this. Because you know how I love those clips about that I think I'm skeptical if they're even real, that everything is improvised, off script, didn't mean to happen,
We I think officially wrapped mascots today. I still
congrats,
don't know what improv is.
Well,
is improv like
Yeah,
when we're discussing a scene before we start shooting, and if I'm like, you know what, I might say blank, and they're like, oh, that's a good idea.
No,
Is that
In the
improv?
moment.
No,
It has to be
I
in
think
the
improv
moment.
is like while the cameras are rolling.
Yeah.
So
like I watched a clip the other day of.
I don't know that it is. I really don't.
Oh, yeah, I shouldn't say
'cause-
that's what it is. That's what I
because
believe it
if
to be.
people say it that often, that's an insane amount of time
So
to be doing
okay,
something fucking brand new on camera.
That's why
at least as far as I understand acting.
That's why I'm always skeptical. That makes sense that can't be happening as often as these people are saying. What I think it is, I watched the clip the other day. I love this account. I wish I could remember the name of it. They do one half of the screen is the movie, and the other half is the script, and it scrolls. And it was when Coach
That's really cool. I
Taylor,
like that a lot.
it's in Wolf of Wall Street. Coach Taylor's telling when they're on the boat,
Mhm.
and they have that cheeky back and forth where they're smiling, and he's like, "This is a great boat. It's gonna be great when I seize it."
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, why don't you get the fuck off my boat? Like, enjoy that whole scene." And so it's scrolling, and they are not making up the script,
Right.
but they're cutting pieces out, they're jumping around, they're saying it out of order.
Yes.
They're improving a little bit where he's like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself." Like that wasn't in there, but they said that, you know? That I think is probably much more. I
That
really
happens all the time.
Yes. And that's what I think. I bet you in comedy. I think comedy people start going like tit for tat. And I think it's just I'm making up a joke about what you look like, what you're wearing, and they just go. I think in like dramas and shit, it's more like you add a little flavor, you change some words, omit some things. That's what like improv is.
There's a joke Pete Holmes has about acting where he's talking about Anthony Hopkins in Hannibal.
Mhm.
And he's like, like I had her brain with some fava beans. Or however he does that. He's like, do you know Anthony Hopkins just did that?
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought you just do what the director tells you to do. Like, that's acting. And I was like, oh. And remember when I first heard that joke, I was like, oh, I always assumed that, like, yeah, the director told Anthony Hopkins to do that.
Yeah.
But, like, even that, I wouldn't really call that improv. It's just, that's his character. Like,
But I mean, I think in the literal sense of the word, it's like,
yeah, I guess he is.
you know?
I think of it, okay, so I'll say this. I think of improv like, I didn't even know I was going to say that.
Oh, it just happened in the moment.
That's what
like,
I don't know.
Like it took over and
I don't know if that's the right definition.
And maybe I wonder if it was like we're about to do the scene, and Anthony Hopkins was like, "Yo, check this out! I got something in store."
Yeah.
That
I'm
I
gonna blow
wouldn't
you
call
away
that
with
improv
it.
because
Yeah.
that I've done
Then
too.
you're
Where
planning,
I was like,
yeah.
I'm gonna smack Tommy. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
But like,
But I'm sure I'm sure the definition kind of changes based on these clips and these stories and interviews where
Yeah.
it's like how much.
I guess I just really want. I guess you could just Google it. I'm sure what the definition of improv is.
Well,
But, like, I think if you're telling people beforehand, I don't think that's improv.
Well, oh no, you go. Well, I was gonna say even in Sunny, like I always wonder how many of the lines are actually written down because it feels like they just like say before like this is the direction, the vibe of
Some
the
shows
scene.
do that, right?
Like,
I think
yeah,
Curb is like that.
that's what I
There's a
think of
framework,
improv.
and they're like, just get to from point A to point B, and whatever happens in the middle. That feels like true, real improv.
Yeah, that's how we do like sketches.
But like everyone has agreed to do that. I think improv is also different when it's like, oh, Leo's going off script. Like, you got to try to play with him and go along for the ride. Like, I think that probably happens with the top dogs. So the reason I bring this all up is it was a clip of McConaughey talking about True Detective season 1. And he said like one line was like everything was from the script.
Yeah.
And he said it in a good way. The headline read wrong. It said like, Matthew McConaughey says the script from True Detective was hot shit. And when he said, he was like, it was hot shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
But he said that he would go to Nick Pizzolatto and he'd be like, Nick, I'm thinking I'm going to say this, that, and the other. And Nick said was like, no, that's good. Like what you came up with is awesome. It's just not Rust's character and it doesn't make sense for this thing. So I think when you get to the top dogs, they probably do everything you just described all the way up to I have a soliloquy in my head that I'm just gonna rip, and you guys have to listen to me. I bet you when it's a good writer and or lesser actors, it's like stick to the fucking words of the script. We got a budget, we got time,
Just
like
say
stuff.
the fucking line,
Yeah.
and then we can go do another scene.
Yeah, and you also think about there's like so many takes. You know, it's like one time Anthony Hopkins went, and the next time maybe he went. and they're all improv, but the one makes it, and you think it was this one-time lightning in a bottle thing when it's actually like, we tried a whole bunch of different shit.
I remember reading that. What's his name? Christoph Waltz.
Mm-hmm.
That people like. Obviously, he's a great actor, and it's like he does 40 takes, and he does something different every time, and that just gives the editor a ton of material.
I almost think that would probably be like too much.
Yeah.
I'd be like, can you just give me 2, 3?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
how do you decide between which of the 40 takes Christoph Waltz gave me is the best? Like all of them? Can I?
I'm just an editor. I don't want to like choose the paint.
Right.
It made my life a lot harder, bro.
Do you like this paint or this paint or this paint? Like, just give me 2, and I'll pick one of the 2.
The white one. They're all white.
I don't buy that Barry Keoghan just went and like fucked the grave. That like I'm thinking of how many people are standing around on a set for you to take that risk.
Yeah,
is a level of balls I don't think that anybody has.
But then also I think of like those guys as like athletes, like the top guys, like the top athletes, where it's like when guys come up with the plate, it's like we're down by 2. There's 2 men on. We need a 3-run home run, and they fucking do it. And it's like, oh, that guy's an alien. To the point that like some of those top actors might be like so good at this that they're like, I'm gonna fuck that grave.
Yeah.
And it's gonna work. And normal people would like never take that risk or have the confidence, but they're like, yeah. Also, I think there's a little bit chicken or the egg where it's like Barry Keoghan can go fuck a grave.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if I did that, they'd be like, get the fuck out of here. So I think that depends on who it is too. That's what it comes down to. No one's asking me to go to Riyadh. No one's gonna put me in the movie where I'm fucking a grave. But if I was, I'd do both of those things. Jackpocket is America's #1 lottery app.
Jackpocket.
It's hot in the streets, baby. It's all the buzz right now. Our partners at Jackpocket, they're America's #1 lottery app. Like I said, they got you covered. They're the only app that allows you to buy state-sponsored lottery tickets right on your phone. You don't have to go to the gas station. You don't have to go to the bodega. You don't have to have cash on you. You have all of the choices right there at your fingertips. So whether if you're in certain states, you can get scratch-off tickets where you just kind of rub your screen and get the satisfaction of scratches. You can do your daily lottery, like pick 4, choose 5, cash for life, or you can do the big mamas, the big boys, Powerball and Mega Millions. All of it's available on Jackpocket right now. All you got to do is swipe, click, bam, you got your tickets. You can pick your own numbers, or you can do quick pick. You can do different packages. You can buy an individual ticket, or you can buy bulk tickets. For instance, Powerball, you can do a package where you get every Powerball. You get 26 tickets. So you got to hit all the other numbers, but you do know you got the Powerball at the end of the day if you spend for that package. So they got all different ways to buy your tickets, and it's all right in your pocket on Jackpocket. New customers get $5 in lottery credits when you opt in and use promo code KFC2. So download the app, pick your ticket, opt in, purchase it, and at checkout, use KFC number 2, and you get $5 in lottery credits, which is basically 2 Powerball tickets or 2 Mega Millions or $5 toward any game you want to play. That's Jackpocket, promo code KFC2. The WNBA commissioner is the dumbest person in the world.
What?
That was the craziest, most out-of-touch quote I've ever, delusional quote I've ever heard in my life.
Is this? She's a Caitlin Clark's lucky for the WNBA.
Chick on the Minnesota Lynx, Nafisha Collier. She's a star herself. I don't know if she's like a players union rep or she just is, speaks for them or whatever. But she sat down with Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner, and said they went through all their problems. The WNBA has terrible officiating to the point that people are getting injured and the game's compromised. They're like they're coming on a lot of fire for the things that are like, you're a legitimate league now. You got to like start acting like it, you know? So they're talking about all these shortcomings. And then she said, what do you plan to do about the fact that Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Beckers are dreadfully underpaid for their first 4 seasons? And her reaction was, Caitlin Clark should be grateful for the platform that the WNBA gave her. And I get what she's saying because I guess they negotiated a package that's like you're allowed to go get outside money and all that. Yeah. But like, and there might be some specifics of that are pretty unorthodox where she did do a good job for the players. But in general, that's a pretty standard thing to be able to like go make money elsewhere. And like quite literally the WNBA, it's completely reversed. Like Caitlin Clark would be making that money without the WNBA. Caitlin Clark could go make more money doing other basketball related things. That's not the WNBA. Almost like strictly. Like she could make more money playing in the Big 3. Yeah, she could. I said she could go on YouTube and shoot jumpers in her backyard. I'm not kidding. Yeah. I mean, like easily. Like, doesn't she make like?
I think it's like $75,000.
Yeah, it's it's a entry level job. She could be like, this is me. Watch me hit like 25 threes in a row on YouTube. She makes $75,000 off that one video. Yeah. She'd be a millionaire just from internet content and basketball. Like appearances and like lessons. She could create a whole basketball world and make all the money she wants and never step foot on a WNBA court ever again.
Yeah. For a commissioner to have like you said, like I get what she's saying. Like,
and I'm sure it's taken out of context.
The fact
bigger
that
picture.
WNBA exists is what gives Caitlin this platform. I get all that.
Yeah.
But to be like in that position and to speak like that about, it's not your employee, but whatever the fuck you call someone in the commissioner, like that's insane.
I think there was one quote that said like she should get down on her knees and like thank something like that. Like she should be on her knees praying that like I did this for her. Something that went even further than
that's super unnecessarily evocative.
Yeah. maybe I shouldn't say exactly that, but like yes, it was. She said. Caitlin Clark should be grateful for the WNBA, saying that WNBA players should be on their knees thanking her for the media rights deal. Yeah, I mean, that's fucking... to the point that, like, again, if I was Caitlin Clark, I think I would be like, I get what you're saying, Kamish, but fucking chill. Like, say it in a way that's like, if she said, actually, I know that everyone thinks that, like, Caitlin Clark is the reason why the WNBA exists, but if you really know all the details, it's a pretty good give and take. It's 50-50. Whatever. To just be like, she should be down on her knees thanking me. That would be, for me, that would be like grudge talk. Like now I'm like leaving and I'm going to bury the WNBA.
But it's also like we're saying right now, like it's insane for your commissioner to do that to your fucking golden goose and all that. Like, Roger Goodell did to Brady. Like that's just as crazy.
The only thing I would say about that is the NFL was in a position like the league can go on without Tom Brady.
Yeah.
The league would continue. It wouldn't like fold, but like it would be like if Brady was the only one.
Right.
Like they mentioned like 3 or 4 people. It was like Beckers, Clark, and Angel Reese. And it's like, those are the 3 you probably shouldn't fuck with.
Yeah.
And probably in a few years, like, there'll be a bunch more and it'll be a little bit more diversified and you don't have to like suck her dick. But right now you need to suck Caitlin Clark's dick.
Is Caitlin Clark even the one that was like putting up or like complaining? Like
no. It was someone else being like,
that'd be like, what the fuck? Like I'm not even.
Yeah, she's Caitlin Clark, I think, has handled herself immaculately. Like she was thrown into race talk, gender talk, money talk, and she's always just kind of like
her and Shane.
Did you?
Caitlin and Shane, they
the
fucking do it
moral
right.
compass.
They do
Although,
it right.
did you see that clip of her and Sophie Cunningham on the bench the other day? That was a little off-putting. It was the first time I was like, I don't like that. Their assistant coach was like, I think they were saying we should review it, whatever the play was, and they weren't reviewing it, so they were mad. They were like, and the assistant coach came over and was like telling them to calm down, and Sophie Cunningham was like sitting like this, and she was like get away, and she like the coach like put her hand on her shoulder, she's like, don't touch me, and it was just very like it actually made me feel bad for them because I was like, in the NBA, a player and a coach would be like nose to nose and like screaming and it's like, oh my god, they're gonna fight, and you would say that's unprofessional, but you wouldn't say that it's like, you know, like you wouldn't like make you think about their like them personally, and maybe this is just my own, I'm a piece of shit, but like when I see. Like, to me, that looks like bossy, bitchy girls being, you know what I mean? Like, it's that in their world, that's just like them being an athlete blowing off steam. But instead of being like tough or, you know, pushing, fighting, it came across as very like mean girl, you know? And that's a problem that they would run into with people like me, where it's like, yeah, it's going to look different, guys and girls, and way, you know, they react and all that sort of shit.
I think other sexes, we do not like seeing the other sex angry.
Right.
Like Swifties just did this with Travis Kelce because he got in an argument with Reed, and they were like, he's dangerous to be around. It's like, he's a guy who's fucking hot right now.
Yeah.
And it's probably the same thing. Like Sophie's a little hot right now.
I said it with in my 1 Minute Man about Cardi and Nicki. Cardi and Nicki went on this Twitter beef. Started out, Nicki was like, you didn't sell enough records and your album flopped. Which it didn't, but whatever. That's what she's saying. And then it devolved into Cardi came back and was like, I think Nicki threw the first shot talking about her kids. Cardi was like, it's your son's birthday. You should put down the phone and celebrate him. Nicki was like, your daughter's ugly. Bro, that's nothing. Cardi comes back and says, you were on drugs during your pregnancy and your rotten pussy popped out your slow ass son who's now 5 years old, tippy-toeing around the house and can't spell his own name.
Cardi B said that?
Yes. And then Cardi was like, you're talking about like me and my family, your dad's a crackhead and your brother his stepdaughter. Like they went nuclear. And in my video I was like, the guy rappers, they just kill each other. Yeah. They just buy a gun and shoot you and you're dead. And somehow I think that's better than what's happening here. It was uncomfortable. They both had like between 10 and 20 tweets each that were just like, it's a bad look for all of them. It was like, what the fuck is going on?
Dude, Nicki should have replied to the one about her fetal alcohol syndrome. Like, at least he's going to have a job at Barstool one day.
I'm setting my son up for fun. Yeah, Nicki said that your daughter's ugly, and then called another one of her kids a roach and a monkey. And then Cardi said like your son's autistic and can't read or something. It was like,
yeah, that one checks out.
Nicki's tough because I think like both her husband and her brother are like registered sex offenders, which really hamstrings your ability to have arguments and you know. So yeah, that is a difference. Like it's a female sport. There's obviously men like dominate sports fandom, and I think certain things like that are off-putting when it's just like that's how it looks for them.
Are you still riding for your girl?
For Caitlin?
No, for Cardi.
Oh, for Cardi. No, I mean, I cannot condone that. I said in my video, I said, I'm Barty gang, Bronx stand up. Like, I do like her more than Nicki. All that's true, but like this was deplorable by everybody involved. Despicable behavior from everybody.
Timeline where you get like wrapped up in like female rapper beef on Twitter, because I could see it.
Please, I wouldn't give anything to have Cardi B have a tweet storm about me. Who the fuck are you to be talking? I seen you in the Daily Mail. I seen you on page 6. I know what you've done. I'd be like, let's go.
Look what you did, stupid.
I'll never forget, man. Alexis Ruiz was my biggest crush of my life, and she used to just go, do you want to get smacked? Always. She was legitimately like Martina or whatever it is. Yeah. Like, use a bunch of white boys, right? She was always like, you dumb white boys, you want to get smacked? And I was kind of like, yes. I was like in 6th grade, I was like, I think I do. I don't know what I'm into yet, but let's give it a try. Great. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
All right, big thanks for watching. If you made it through this whole episode, that means you should be subscribed. There's so many of you out there who watch and don't subscribe, so make sure you are a KFC Radio subscriber. Make sure you get all the content when it drops. Click that button now.
I have 9 fingers. I'm still subscribed. It's that easy.